Friends, someone has said the truth that there is no age for love. But when that love goes on your mind from your heart, it becomes poison. The story begins with a man named Smith whom we see in the hospital. But here he has a very deep wound on his head. Why did this happen? We will find out later. But we can definitely say that he is in a lot of pain right now. The story goes a little further, where we see Smith going to a place called Nature Cove, where his younger brother has a small house. And here he has come to spend a few moments alone in peace. Now in the middle he meets a ranger who drops him to his destination. But he asks him, "What you have come here to do?" So Smith says that he is tired of his life. So he needs a few moments in the middle of nature, far from the city, but the ranger tells him to be careful. Keep all the gates and windows of the house locked, because there are a lot of monkeys here. After this, he goes straight to his house. And when he goes inside the house, he first drinks. And then after a while, he goes out to explore this place. At a distance, his eyes fall on a beach, where a family was bathing, including a girl. Now looking here, he feels a little strange. Why are these people bathing in the open? And at the same time, the girl sees him. That's why those people leave from there. Anyway, now he had found out that there are other people living here besides him. After a while, it gets dark. Smith is alone in this whole house. That's why he now misses his family a lot. He thinks about them and starts crying, and screams and tells himself that he is responsible for all this. Actually, a few days ago, he was going on a trip with his wife and children, but his eye got stuck in the middle, because of which the car fell into the ravine. Because of his carelessness, his entire family died. But somehow he survived here. But as long as he is alive, this burden will always be on his chest. If he hadn't slept that day, he would have been happy with his family today. But in the second page of his book of destiny, another chapter is about to begin, which is going to bring a lot of happiness for him. But it will also give him double pain. Anyway, the next morning he goes for a walk. But on the way back, he hears a girl crying near his house. He goes closer and sees that someone is crying inside the board. He calls him and a girl comes out of it, which Smith recognizes, because she was the one who was bathing with her family on that beach. Now he asks her, "Why are you crying? What happened to you? Did someone kill you?" But she doesn't answer him and moves back. Here Smith was worried about her. And that's why she was also feeling somewhere that maybe her family did something wrong to her. But she tells him to go away from her. If she didn't do that, she would blame him for killing her. And that's why Smith apologizes to her and leaves. But before leaving, he asks her if she needs anything. If yes, then tell me, I will help you. Then that girl asks him to bring a bottle of wine. So Smith brings 2 bottles of wine from the nearby shop. But in between he meets that ranger again, who asks him in a very scary way, "Is everything okay?" So Smith answers yes and comes back. But when he comes back, there was no girl at the gate. So he comes to his house, and he sees on his door that the girl's cap is hanging. Now why did she do that? Maybe she can tell. Maybe she wants to be friends with Smith. Or maybe this is some kind of message from her. But whatever happens, we will know later. Now after a while it is night, so Smith sits at the table to eat. But at the same time he hears some noise. He thinks that maybe a monkey has entered the house, and that's why he goes slowly to the gate to kill him. But there was no monkey there, and that's why he comes back to sleep. But since he has come to this house, he has never had a good night's sleep since then, because he always misses his family. The next morning he goes to the beach again, where he finds a girl sitting. Looking at her, he starts thinking about his daughter, that at some point in time he used to spend the same time with his daughter. Now his daily routine was over. He used to sit alone and keep thinking about his mistakes. And during this time, that girl comes back with her family. But looking at her, it seemed that she was afraid of someone. Now Smith asks her about her injury, but she doesn't say anything. On the contrary, her dad beats her in a very wrong way, and he asks her who she is. Seeing this behavior of his, Smith feels very strange. but he didn't want to interfere in their family matter, so he comes home. But at night, the girl's dad comes to her house, and Smith was surprised to see him there, because he had never expected this. Anyway, he asks him to come inside, and both of them drink together. In the conversation, that man tells his name is John, and his daughter's name is Ollie Smith. He asks him about his wife. Where is she? So John tells him that me and my family came to this area first, and here we increased our business. But one day when we were enjoying at home, then some people entered the house and they started robbing everything by putting us all on the tip of the gun. But when they saw my daughter, they started going near her. Their intentions were spoiled. My wife tried a lot to save my daughter, and because of this, they killed her. After the conversation is over, when John asks Smith about her, he turns the conversation around. Because you shouldn't share your story with anyone. People take your weakness or life and then they misuse it against you. Thinking this, Smith remains silent. The next day, Smith goes to the shop to buy some things for his house. When he comes out, he sees that Ollie is watching him in his car. And when he tries to go to her, she leaves without saying anything. Now when he comes home, he meets a lady who was standing outside. She asks him for water, so he takes her inside the house and gives her water. But she asks him that if you need any maid, then tell me, I will do all the work. But Smith refuses. Still, she starts washing his utensils. Because of this, he gets hurt in his hand. And Smith was scared to see this. He takes him to his neighbor, John's house. Because John is a doctor and he does his treatment. After that, everyone sits and has lunch together. But there, Simon, who is Ollie's brother, he starts listening to music. And he didn't even finish his food. That's why his dad gets angry with him. And because of this, Ollie gets very unhappy. She starts shouting at him. And a fight breaks out here. But Smith calms everyone down. And he understands that he is not worth more than John's family. And then he comes out of there. And behind him, Ollie also comes and asks him for a cigarette. Both smoke and start talking about their past. Here Ollie says that my dad is responsible for all this. Because the day he came to our house, I was wearing a short dress. Because of this, he got attracted to me. And in order to save me, my mom lost her life. After that day, she never accepted me as her daughter. She is just with me to keep her relationship. She also asks Smith about her, although he doesn't tell anyone about his past. But today he tells Ollie that he was coming back from his son's school trip and his car fell into a ditch, in which my wife and my children both died. And unfortunately, I was saved. I should have died too. But I don't know why God kept me alive. While telling this, he gets tears in his eyes. After that, he asks her to come to his house. So he takes her directly to his house, where he goes to give her cap. But Ollie says that she is a little sick. She wants to rest a little. So Smith goes to make coffee for her. But when he comes back, he sees that she is standing without clothes. And he was not ashamed to do this. But Smith forbids him to do this. And he makes her wear his clothes. But Ollie doesn't like this. She wanted them to be close. And when this doesn't happen, she says that no one loves her. Everyone is like her dad. Sometimes she even thinks of killing herself. But she just stops for her brother. Now, Smith explains to her that there is nothing like that. I am not in a situation to support you. I have a lot of problems in my life. Saying this, he hugs her and asks her to leave. But after she leaves, he feels very bad for Ollie. But what can he do? A few days later, the maid comes to his house again. And here Ollie has also reached. And here Ollie was also standing outside his house. Seeing both together, Smith invites them. Where Ollie apologizes to Smith for tomorrow, he also forgives her. Now when she asks him for a cigarette, he refuses. Both of them start talking very strangely. So the maid leaves from there. After which she says to Ollie Smith that let's go for a walk. If you are free, I know a good place. Now Smith agrees. And then both leave for the track. In the middle, they meet the same ranger who asks Ollie, who this person is. She says that he is my dad's friend and we are going for the track. After which they leave. After a long climb, Ollie reaches a top point with Smith. From where the view was very beautiful. They both enjoy the view. She also tells him that she used to come here a lot in her childhood when something bad happened to her. And you asked me that day who hit my. So actually my dad punched me. He often does this to me because he will always be responsible for my mom's death. Now here Smith comforts him and explains that everything will be fine. But here Ollie starts kissing his hand. Seeing this, Smith understands that somewhere she has started liking him. But he doesn't answer her. And after a long time they both come back. But in the middle of the jungle, Smith also can't stop himself and they both come close. But then Smith sees that John is sitting on the boat in front of him, and here Ollie also hears her dad's voice. So they both come to their own home. But Smith was afraid that something would happen to John. He was also getting sick, and because of fear he starts vomiting. Now he starts packing his things because it is not safe to stay here anymore. But then he sees John at the gate and he gets very scared. What if John sees him with Ollie? But he actually came to invite him for dinner. But Smith tells him that he is going to the city. But upon John's repeated requests, he goes with him for dinner. When he goes there and sees Ollie, he tells everyone that he is going to leave for Germany where he will start his new life. So Ollie says, "Are you going to get married again?" And while saying this, she starts seducing him and repeatedly provokes him by saying that you will not like any girl. You will always be alone like this. She actually wanted to tell him the importance of herself. And because of this behavior, John apologizes to her. Now here he is somehow trapped in this place. Finally dinner is over and he comes straight to his house after dinner. But Ollie gets very sad because if he leaves, she will be alone again. She was in love with Smith, so the next morning she goes to meet him. Both are intimate here. But while doing this, her mate sees her and calls Smith. She was looking at Smith with very strange eyes. It seemed as if she would go to John and tell him the truth. But this does not happen. After a while, when Smith is about to leave, John arrives and tells him that Simon is not to be seen anywhere. Can you help me? And how would he refuse? So he goes with her to find him, and Ollie sticks Simon's posters everywhere. On the other side, some people were also looking for him in the river. Who knows, he might have drowned in the river and died. But no one comes to know about him here. Maybe he ran away from his family who were giving him pain every day. Ollie also feels the same, but she does not tell anyone. Now when Smith is about to go home, he meets the same ranger again who asks him to sit in his car. And then he tells him that he is a very close friend of Ollie. Can you get me to talk to him? I want to marry him. So he says, sorry, this is not the right time. Saying this, he gets out of the car and leaves from here, meaning this ranger also loves Ollie and wants to marry him. Now slowly time goes by. One day when Smith is at the beach, Ollie also comes there. She starts talking to him. When she comes to the shore, she tells him crying that I do not want to stay here anymore. Take me away from here. If I stay here, I will kill myself. Now he is able to answer her that till then John comes there who sees them together in this condition. But in the meantime, Ollie runs away from there. Smith is not able to run away and stays there. Now he comes out of the water and tries to explain to her that what he is understanding is nothing. But if anyone sees them in this condition, they will understand what they were doing. And in anger, John attacks him with the same stick which causes a deep wound on his head. But Smith somehow saves his own life and runs away from there. And when he comes home, he sees that there is a monkey sitting there who can die in a few hours if he bites him. So he tries to escape from him and goes up. But in the meantime, John comes there. Now there is a fierce fight between the two. But Smith was getting heavy on John, and in the meantime he bites Monkey John in 2 places. Because of this, his condition was getting worse. And in the meantime, Smith finds out that he will have to kill this monkey because if he bites him, he can die. So first he kills him and then starts running away from there. But it's been a long time because both Ranger and Allie had reached there. Allie cries a lot when she sees her dad in this condition because she has already lost her brother. So, both of them pick him up and put him in the car and start walking towards the city. But before leaving, Ranger tells Smith that you have time till tomorrow morning. Get out of here as soon as possible. But standing far away, Allie could not understand with whom she should go. With her dad or with her love, she thought for a long time and thought it was right to sit in the car, because there is no one more important for her than her dad. Now at this time, whatever he is her dad. And seeing this, Smith is completely broken. He struggled a lot in his life. He cured this wound, but another wound will now be in his life. There, Allie also started feeling good. She got a companion. But maybe both of them were destined to write so much love. With this story ends here. How did you like the story? Do tell us by commenting below. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.